Hi everyone, this is Parul Bhatnagar from the Avaya Global Support Services team. Today we'll discuss about the integration between Aura Messaging and Communication Manager. What is Aura Messaging? Aura Messaging is a voicemail server. When someone tries to call you and you are unable to take the call, it goes to your voicemail. It's a scalable voicemail system that targets voice messaging, email, and fax messaging. It provides voicemail access through a telephone, personal computer, and through internet. Users can send and receive messages even when they are away. We'll move to our next slide, which talks about the Aura Messaging architecture server roles. The first one is the application role, which supports real-time telephony interaction with users and callers, and also for integration with the telephony server, that is the PBX for voice and MWI. The second one is the storage role, which stores voice messages and stores directory data in an LDAP directory. The two type of storage servers could be Avaya Message Store and the Exchange backend. We move to the telephony integration page on the Aura Messaging server. Here we define the transport protocol TCP or TLS as per the requirement. And we define the peer IP connection as connection 1. This is either the session manager IP address or the communication manager IP address. We also define the messaging address here, which is the IP address of the server hosting the application role. Port is 5060 for TCP and 5061 for TLS. The SIP domain is also defined on this page and the number of ports used by the Aura Messaging server. Topologies. This slide is about various topologies in Aura Messaging. It can be single-site or multi-site with different types of front-end and back-end scenarios. This is explained on the next slide. In this diagram, there is single-site, single server configuration, and single-site front and back-end configuration. The New York site has application and storage on the same server, whereas at Santa Clara, the application and storage roles are on different boxes. This slide shows multiple sites, single server and remote application server. This is the decentralized system. New York is the multi-site server and LA is the remote application server here. Here the LA site is using the storage server at the New York site. In this topology, two sites use the same storage server. Here LA does not have any redundancy. Here is a call flow for a voicemail. When a user calls another user, the call first rings on the extension and then covers to the voicemail after a busy or no answer condition. It checks the coverage path and goes to the hunt group. It then goes to the ARS or the AAR table, then to the route pattern and finds a trunk group from there. The call finally lands on to the Aura Messaging application server ports. Now the call party greeting is presented to the caller and the caller is able to record a message. Configuration note 88104 gives step-by-step procedure to integrate Aura Messaging and Communication Manager. We'll move to our next slide. First, switch configuration. This is the list of configurations to be made on the CM server in order to integrate Aura Messaging and CM. We'll talk about this in detail in our next few slides. System parameters customer option. Make sure you have enough number of SIP trunks available. If not, do a change system parameters customer options and increase the number of SIP trunks. That is, you can set the parameter maximum administered SIP trunks to be any number like 100, 500, 5000, etc. On this slide, we are adding Aura Messaging as the node name in Communication Manager. Do a change node names IP and add the Aura Messaging system IP address here. On our next slide, IP network region configuration. We are defining the SIP domain and the codec set to be used here. This codec set is used for the voicemail specifically. Codec set plays an important role in an audio quality issue. IP codec set supported. As we have seen in our previous slide, we defined the codec set as 1. And as we can see here, codec set 1 has audio codec as G711 mu law. We can use codec set 2 to use G711 A law. This can be set as per the requirement. We also set the media encryption for data encryption to be yes or none. In our next slide, we see IP codec set configuration. For fax support, we should also enable T.38 standard. This is the only fax protocol supported by Aura messaging. Next is the signaling group configuration. Depending on the transport protocol requirement, we can use TCP or TLS. Port 5060 is used for TCP and 5061 is used for TLS as the near end listen port. Far end will be Aura messaging node name, and near end can be either CLAN or Procar. Trunk group configuration. We define the group type as SIP. Here the trunk access code is configured based on the dial plan, that is the TAC. The signaling group is populated here and the number of members as well. Aura messaging supports up to 120 ports per server and maximum 300 ports per cluster. Hunt group configuration. Voicemail number is same as the one configured as the internal messaging access number on the Aura messaging. In this case, it's 3999. We also define message center as the SIP adjunct. AAR analysis table. It defines how this number 3999 should be treated. Call will go to the route pattern 1 here. The call type is set to be unknown as the system doesn't recognize this number yet. On the next slide for route pattern configuration, it directs the call to the trunk group that is populated here. In this case, it is 1. The public or private unknown numbering table. As defined in the AAR analysis table, the call type was unknown for the message access number 3999. Hence, we define the extension range that is used by the Aura messaging subscribers. This can be used for calling party identification. Coverage path. It is used to direct a call from the extension to a hunt group. In this case, it is hunt group 1. Coverage path is defined in the extension configuration of a user. We'll see that in the next slide. This is the station configuration for the number 3911. The coverage path is defined as 1, as we've seen in this previous slide. On our last slide, we'll see the sites page for Aura messaging. The internal message access number 3999 is used to integrate the calls to the subscriber's mailbox. This should be the same number that is configured in the hunt group of the CM. Thank you for watching. For any questions or feedback, please get back to us at mentor@avaya.com or at Avaya Mentor on Twitter. For more details and other technical information, please visit support.avaya.com.